I once paid for a woman to cheat on me. Monthly installments, auto-pay enabled, 5-star customer service experience. Her phone bill was $150 a month, and every text she sent to destroy me cost me exactly 23 cents. I did the math later. The breakup cost me $800 in cellular charges alone, not counting the therapy she was getting from him. My name's Apollo, and I used to think love was about being the sun in someone's solar system. You know, life-giving, essential, the thing everything revolves around. Turns out, some people prefer to live in the shadows of dead stars. She came into my life like a beautiful disaster with a customer service smile, fresh out of what she called the most toxic relationship of her life. And me? I was the emotional janitor, ready to clean up someone else's mess with industrial-strength compassion. She told me his name was Thomas, emotionally unavailable Thomas, manipulative Thomas, Thomas who love-bombed her into trauma. Thomas sounded like a real piece of work. The kind of guy who'd ghost you for 3 days, then show up with gas station flowers and an explanation that started with, "You're being dramatic, but..." So naturally, I became the anti-Thomas. I was present. I was consistent. I was everything she said she needed. I was also completely fucking delusional. Red flag number 1, she kept Thomas's hoodie. For closure. It lived in her car like some kind of emotional support garment. She'd wear it to therapy appointments. I thought that was healthy. Processing. Moving forward. I'm an idiot. Red flag number 2. Her therapy appointments were every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Except sometimes they ran until midnight. And sometimes her therapist wanted to meet at his apartment. And sometimes therapy involved her coming home smelling like Axe body spray and regret. My therapist believes in unconventional methods, she said. Like what? I asked. Exposure therapy. For what? Trust issues. I should have known right then that her trust issues weren't with Thomas. They were with the truth. Red flag number 3. She had 2 phones, one for business and one for personal. The business phone was always dead. The personal phone was surgically attached to her hand. What kind of business do you run? I asked. Emotional consulting, she said, which I found out later was technically accurate. She was consulting with Thomas about how long she could string me along. I started paying attention, really paying attention, and that's when I noticed the patterns. Every fight we had ended with her needing space to process. Space that lasted exactly 24 hours. Space that somehow always included a mysterious disappearance of her location sharing. I turn it off when I need to center myself, she explained. Where do you go to center yourself? Thomas used to take me to this spot. I go there to reclaim it, like emotional real estate. I started taking notes, not because I'm a psycho, but because I'm methodical, and the data was illuminating. Wednesday therapy sessions, 53. Times she came home happy after therapy, 52. Times she mentioned breakthrough moments with her therapist, 23. Times she accidentally called her therapist baby when telling me about their sessions. 4. I'm a logical man. When the numbers don't add up, you find the missing variable. The missing variable was that her therapist was Thomas. Here's where it gets beautiful, in a twisted cosmic justice kind of way. I was handling our finances because she was too traumatized by money to deal with bills. Thomas had apparently ruined her relationship with financial responsibility too. What a guy. So there I was, being Mr. Reliable, paying her phone bill every month. $150. Auto-pay. Because I'm thoughtful like that. One month, I decided to actually look at the bill. You know, like a responsible adult who's not funding his own emotional destruction. Text messages sent, 847. Text messages received, 1,203. Top contact, Dr. Phillips. Dr. Phillips. Her therapist had a name now. I called the number listed under Dr. Phillips, just to see. Yo, you've reached Thomas. Leave a message or don't, I'm not your dad. Thomas, Dr. Phillips, therapist, same guy. I hung up and laughed until I cried. Or maybe I cried until I laughed. The emotions got a little blended, like a smoothie made of betrayal and disbelief. Now that I knew, I couldn't unknow. It was like finding out Santa Claus is real, but he's been stealing from your house instead of leaving presents. I started documenting everything. The way she'd smile at her phone during our dinner dates. Dr. Phillips is so insightful, she'd say, reading what I now knew were Thomas's attempts at sexting. The way she'd disappear into the bathroom for 20 minutes. Just processing today's session with Dr. Phillips. Processing. That's what we're calling it now. The way she'd come home from breakthrough therapy days with that post-coital glow that I recognized because I used to be the one who put it there. The way she'd tell me about her therapist's advice, Dr. Phillips thinks you're too available. He says, I need to learn to miss you. Dr. Phillips says healthy relationships have mystery. Dr. Phillips thinks I should explore my sexuality more freely. Thomas, through the medium of fake therapy, was giving her permission to treat me like shit, and I was paying for the privilege. You want to know the really sick part? She was getting off on it. Not just the cheating, the elaborateness of it all, the performance, the way she could look me in the eye and tell me she was healing while actively destroying us both. She'd created an entire alternate reality where Thomas was her mental health professional, and I was some kind of emotional trust fund she could draw from indefinitely. Dr. Phillips says I'm making real progress, she'd tell me, after spending 3 hours at Thomas's apartment working through her attachment issues. Progress toward what? A PhD in gaslighting? She had it all figured out. Every Wednesday was therapy, every late night was a crisis session. Every weekend Thomas was in town was an intensive treatment period, and I was financing it all. The phone she used to coordinate with him, the gas she burned driving to his place, the coffee she bought him during their sessions. I was literally paying for my own destruction, monthly installments, with a smile and a kiss goodbye. The end came not with a bang, but with a notification. I was using her iPad to look up a recipe. Domestic bliss, right? When a text popped up from Dr. Phillips. Can't wait to see you tonight. Bring that thing you do with your tongue. It's therapeutic as hell. I stared at that message for a full minute. Then I screenshot it. Then I stared at it for another minute. Therapeutic as hell. Her entire relationship with Thomas was happening in plain sight, disguised as mental health care. It was brilliant, really. Sociopathic, but brilliant. I could have confronted her right then. Could have had the big dramatic showdown. Could have thrown her clothes on the lawn and changed the locks. But I'm Apollo, god of truth, prophecy, and strategic revenge. I had a better idea. I didn't say anything. I played along. I nodded sympathetically when she told me about her breakthrough sessions. I even asked follow-up questions. How's Dr. Phillips helping you process your trauma? What techniques is he using? Does he think you're making progress toward closure? She ate it up, started elaborating on her therapy with the enthusiasm of someone who thought they were getting away with murder. Meanwhile, I was planning my exit strategy. I transferred all the shared bills to her name, quietly, slowly, over the course of 2 months. The phone bill, the streaming services, the gym membership she never used but insisted we needed. I opened my own bank account, started funneling my money there, and I waited for the perfect moment. That moment came on a Wednesday, therapy day. She was getting ready for her session, doing that thing where she put on makeup for her therapist but never for our dates. Dr. Phillips wants to try a new approach tonight, she said, applying lipstick like war paint. Somatic therapy. What's that? I asked, knowing exactly what it was. Body-based healing. He thinks I need to reconnect with my physical self. That sounds intimate. All real healing is intimate, Apollo. That's what makes it work. That's when I handed her the phone bill. The real one. The detailed one that showed every text, every call, every minute she'd spent building her house of lies. Funny thing about intimacy, I said. It's supposed to be honest. She looked at the bill. Her face went through about 8 different expressions before settling on, caught red-handed, but gonna try to bullshit my way out of this. I can explain. Don't. Please don't. I've heard enough of your explanations to write a book on creative fiction. She tried one more time. Dr. Phillips is helping me. Thomas. His name is Thomas. Dr. Phillips is the dentist on 5th Street. I called him. Nice guy. Never heard of you. The silence that followed was the most honest moment we'd had in months. I didn't yell, didn't beg for explanations. I just picked up my keys and headed for the door. Where are you going? She asked. To get some therapy, I said. The kind you pay for yourself. And I left, just like that. She called 48 times that night, left 18 voicemails, each one a masterpiece of manipulation disguised as remorse. Apollo, I can explain everything. Apollo, it's not what you think. Apollo, Thomas means nothing to me. Apollo, you're the one I love. Apollo, please come home. The last one was my favorite. Apollo, my phone got turned off. Can you help me? I texted back, ask Dr. Phillips. I hear he's great with communication issues. 6 months later, I heard through mutual friends that she and Thomas broke up. Again. Apparently, he found out she was using me to pay for their relationship and decided that made her financially manipulative. The irony was lost on no one except her. She tried to contact me a few times after that. Different numbers, different approaches, same desperate energy. I've been going to real therapy now. I understand what I did wrong. Thomas and I are really over this time. I never responded. Not because I was angry, not because I was hurt, because I finally understood something important. Some people don't want to heal. They want to perform healing. They want the attention that comes with being wounded, the power that comes with being vulnerable, and the control that comes with letting other people fix them. She didn't want Thomas. She didn't want me. She wanted the drama of wanting someone she couldn't have while being financially supported by someone she didn't want. It was the perfect game until someone changed the rules. Here's what I learned. Love isn't about saving someone. It's not about being their therapist, their bank account, or their emotional safety net. Love is supposed to be mutual, honest, simple. If someone needs you to pay for the privilege of being lied to, that's not love. That's a subscription service to your own destruction. Cancel that shit immediately. And if you're currently financing someone's healing journey while they text their ex on your dime, just remember, the only therapy that really works is the kind where you learn to value yourself enough to walk away. Sometimes the best act of love is refusing to participate in someone else's performance. Trust me, I'm Apollo. I know a thing or two about dramatic exits.